Alright, Star Wars fans and YouTubers, I'm going to do one more video today. I was either going to do a diorama or a vehicle review, and I decided on doing the Vintage Collection Y-Wing, which is a Toys R Us exclusive. I'm going to start off by looking at the box. I've shown you the box before in other videos. I'll just show it to you again in case you haven't seen those. Alright, with the Vintage Collection, basically, Hasbro has to copy the picture that Kenner had in the old one, but they have to use the newer figures. And I kind of have to laugh at that, because Kenner just grabbed any hodgepodge of figures they had, threw them together for this diorama. It doesn't even make sense. They've got Admiral Akbar flying the Y-Wing. They've got, Episode 5, Lando Calrissian residing over it, General Madine and Nia Num standing by, and R2-D2 is Admiral Akbar's astromech. So this really doesn't make sense at all. It's kind of funny. Anyway, that's the box. Here's the instruction sheet. It's a one-page instruction sheet. If you want, you can just pause the video and look at it. I've got the 30th anniversary Y-Wing to compare here side by side with the current one. The main difference a lot of people noticed is the paint job, and I will go into that, but there's also a lot of minor differences as well. Alright, to start off with, the paint job, it grabs a lot of people. A lot of you were saying, I'm used to seeing a yellow and white Y-Wing in the movie. That's what, we're used to seeing. And this one's red and white. And I know why they did this. They did this because the original Kenner box had a red and white Y-Wing on the front, although a yellow and white Y-Wing was inside. So they did this kind of to commemorate the original paint job. But another detail a lot of people notice is this doesn't have the weathering on it that we've become accustomed to with a lot of the current vehicles. Look at the 30th anniversary Y-Wing. Look at the weathering. Now, the Y-Wing is supposed to be an older, dated fighter that's seen heavy use, and a lot of people like it to look rugged. They like the weathering on it, and this one just doesn't have that. So, that is a drawback. Appearance means a lot with a toy like this. But otherwise, the mold is the same. There's some other minor differences I'll show you as well. For one, when I showed you this a few months ago, the landing gear brought up, and it has the three-piece landing gear, and the button for it is right here. You move this back and forth. I want you to look at this. All three of these go up and down. This one is a similar landing gear, but there's only two of them that go up and down, and you have to lock it. Or when you set it down, these are going to kind of cave in, unless you lock it. This landing gear you have to bring up and down manually. I don't like that as well. I will make a note about the landing gear of the Y-Wing. My good friend and fellow reviewer, 00 Fireman 501st, said if you take any Y-Wing and display it, months at a time, years at a time, it's a bottom-heavy fighter, and the rear landing gear is going to deteriorate on you. So if you want to display your Y-Wing with all your Star Wars stuff, fold the landing gear in and then put something under it. Even if you store it in the box, make sure the landing gear's not out. That's just a word of caution for longevity of your fighter. We're going to look at some other minor differences as well. The cockpit they made different. They made it slightly different. I've got Lieutenant Pollard in there. I find it really hard to get pilots in here. Originally I had Kay and Farlander. I was trying to struggle with him to get him in and out of the cockpit. They put some other stuff in the cockpit, and although it does look more detailed, it doesn't have the playability. Show you the 30th anniversary cockpit here. The cockpit's rather nice on that. They've got a little bit different screen on this one, as you can see. And they've also got controls. They've got harness controls, and they've got a targeting computer. Those are awesome features, but it does make it... The targeting computer is very, very delicate. I'd be careful not to break it, if I were you. And the harness makes it very difficult to get fighter pilots in and out of the thing. Now, one thing I like about this Y-Wing, they've gone back. The 30th anniversary, it came with a droid, but also they have a stationary droid in there that doesn't come out. You see, he's stationed in there. This one, you can take any droid in and out you want. I've actually got the Build-A-Droid R5D4 right here from Wave 5 of the Vintage Collection. I've also got the Imperial droid from Saga. Stick him in here as well. You can pretty much fit any droid in there you want, and I'm glad they have gone back to that. They have a side opening for the cockpit right here. I had some trouble when I got this Y-Wing out. Getting this thing open on it didn't want to open for me. It didn't want to. I know the other one I had a strap over it, and you had to cut the strap to open the cockpit. But this cockpit just seems less user friendly. But otherwise, the Y-Wing, it's the same basic mold as Kenner made, as was in the Power of the Force 2 line, the OTC, and the 30th anniversary. That mold has been evolving over the years. It's 2012, it's been like 27 years evolution on the same mold. They've done a good job. I'll show you the back of it. The engines look very realistic in the back. The only thing about the Y-Wing a lot of people point out is the proportions aren't good on it. It's not proportioned. Now, someday they may make a new Y-Wing based off the Clone Wars one, and, you know, a lot of us are going to jump for joy for that because it is going to be in scale with the larger X-Wing we have out as well. And by the way, it does have a bomb, just like the other one. It drops this bomb. There's a button for the bomb right here. Drop a bomb on some, maybe on the Death Star or something. Drop a bomb as we're making the trench run, I don't know. Do something, and that's a rotating ion cannon. I don't know why they didn't use this in the movie, but yeah, the Y-Wing all in all is a cool fighter. I just see elements of the 30th anniversary one, which was better than this one, and I kind of wish they would have kept the good and gotten away with the bad, but you know, you can't have everything. And another big thing about it is the cost. Although the Y-Wing from the 30th anniversary and this one cost about the same, they both cost about $35, $40. The 30th anniversary one came with 2 figures. In fact, all of them back to the Power of the Force 2 have come at least with 1 figure. So they've kept the cost the same and, you know, taken away 2 figures. So that's going to hurt it with my review back then as well. I've always said, you know, I'm going to rate the vehicle itself or the character itself versus the cost. So actually, you know, without the 2 figures, I'm going to probably give it a 7.25 overall. You know, just the quality seems worse. The paint job, it's not as good as a display model as the older one. I like my 30th anniversary one better, even though it doesn't have the targeting computer. So, you know, I'm somewhat disappointed with it, although the box is cool. And it is cool that we have this nostalgia of the vintage collection. I mean, I would wholeheartedly recommend getting it if you just want to have the box, you know, a kind of commemorative thing back to Kenner's day. But, as a vehicle itself, it's not as good as the 30th anniversary one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my review, and this is Supreme signing out, and as always, thank you for tuning in.